There was a collector. He was a taxi magnate. I didn't grow up in New York, but my husband told me that they had these angel taxis, and it was owned by this guy, Robert Scull. And his wife, Ethel, and Robert were big collectors, and they were kind of like players in the market. You know, they'd go buy art, and they were buying Warhol and Larry Poons and Rauschenberg and Jasper Johns, and he was a big supporter of the arts. I think he was involved in the Green Gallery, which was also where a lot of these artists got their start. And he put his collection on the block. In the Skull auction, what happened was a lot of the artists were outside protesting. They were furious that someone would sell their work. And they had this big auction, and I think the valuations were much higher. I think the total was a couple $1 million, which at the time was just out of control. Like maybe he had spent $250,000 on the collection. It sold for a couple $1 million. And there were some pivotal pieces in it, including a painting by Larry Poons and the Jasper Johns Target, which is now at the Art Institute of Chicago and is worth $100 million. I think there might have been a Brillo box, but there were there were major pieces in the collection. And at the end of the collection, Robert Rauschenberg went up to Robert Scull, and he gave him a shove, and he said, "You didn't send me flowers, buddy." And he said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You made a huge profit on my art." And Scull, without missing a beat, said, "What do you mean? Your work's going to sell for so much more. We work for each other." And then they have a hug. It's sort of like the Dance Macabre. And it's sort of like the beginning of Art and Money getting into bed together and giving each other a hug.
That embrace is almost like it's the dark embrace at the core of the film, which is the embrace between art and money. And you see the uneasiness of it. There's this kind of unease. It's like, should we be hugging? Shouldn't we? And I think that really resonates through a lot of our thinking. And when we were making the film, we realized that was such a key moment, not only historically, but it sort of represents physically this sort of something's off here. And yet it's the embrace of our time. It's the embrace of, art and money is also the embrace of commerce that is now sort of threatening to engulf everything in our world, right?